everybody, it's Sonnie coming at you from Fukuoka, Japan. Over the summer, we spent some time in Cambodia, and I told you guys that I found some hostels for crazy cheap. And today, I want to show you some of those hostels. While we were in Siem Reap, we stayed in 2 hostels for under $3.50 per person per night. The first one was the Mekong Hostel, and that was for $3.49 per person per night. And the second one was the White Rabbit Hostel for only $3 per person per night. A few of you commented that you were a bit concerned about the quality of the place that we'd find for that cheap. And I do understand your concerns, so I filmed some footage so that you can see firsthand what those places look like. First up is the Mekong Hostel. Both places had pools. The Mekong Hostel's pool had these cool elephant fountains that sprayed water directly into it, and it was located right next to the bar, which also had a restaurant with a full menu, so you could eat there for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They also had a nice variety of local foods as well as more Western style foods. We only stayed one night at the White Rabbit Hostel. Apparently, it also has one of the largest pools out of any hostel in Siem Reap. Joe and I weren't expecting the absolute cleanest places or places with the best amenities, but we were actually really surprised at how nice these places were and the services that they offered. Both of these hostels had some amazing services. They would book tours for you or buses to other cities. They would offer pickup service from the airport. The Mekong Hostel offered it for $5 and the White Rabbit Hostel offered it for $8. Now, that was at the time that we were there. All of these prices could have changed. They also both had laundry services that you could utilize. The Mekong Hostel had a huge indoor area that people could watch TV, hang out, use the computers, and basically socialize together. I didn't personally notice that at the White Rabbit Hostel, but for the most part, with the weather in these places, it's pretty okay to not necessarily have an indoor area to hang out in. Although when people got really hot, they did escape into their bedrooms where they had air conditioning again. As you can see, we slept in a 6-person mixed dorm room with an ensuite bathroom and shower. In both hostels, the beds were perfectly comfortable and we slept really well. You can also see they have lockers for each person under the beds to store your stuff. Each bed came with its own light, shelf, and universal outlet so that you didn't even need a converter. The bathrooms at the Mekong Hostel had the shower, toilet, and sink all in one room. Almost all of the bathrooms in Cambodia had these butt sprayers next to the toilet and encouraged their use instead of the use of toilet paper. We were on the 4th floor of the Mekong Hostel, and while our bedroom didn't have a balcony, at the end of the hallways, every floor had a balcony that everyone could share. And I thought the view was really lovely. I've put some information and links to the different hostels' websites and different places that you can book to them in the description box below if you want to check those out and see some other sides of those as well. In the White Rabbit Hostel, we were in a 12-person mixed dorm room. This hostel was obviously Alice in Wonderland themed, and each dorm room had its own theme as well. Our room was Moody themed, which I had never heard of before, but he was pretty cute. The White Rabbit Hostel also hosted pub crawls and different events for the people staying with them. Both places also had air conditioning, and both were less than a 10-minute walk to the central area around Pub Street and the night market. We did, and always do, appreciate the privacy curtains around the bed like they have here. And once again, there was storage beneath the beds for your stuff. Since there were more people sharing one shower and one toilet here, I appreciated that they were kept separate. Joe loved these fancy showers, and personally, I'd never seen anything like these in a hostel before. Both hostels also had extra bathrooms around their public spaces too. The sink and everything was really nice too. You can tell they invested a lot of money, thought, and time into this hostel. This place was definitely more of a party hostel, which isn't our normal style, but the place just looked so cool that when I saw it at that price, I booked it. It is 100% a party hostel. Last night the music's blasting until 11 p.m. and then that's when quiet hour starts, and then I was able to get a good night's sleep. That's fine. Every once in a while we heard free shots at the bar, woo! And like everybody freaking out, people singing along to like Backstreet Boys and 90s music, and yeah, so definitely a party hostel, but it looked like a lot of fun. This hostel also had a cafe which served both local and Western cuisine too. Something I'd like to call attention to is who owns the hostels. So I personally like to travel through ecotourism, and that heavily involves supporting the locals. So I'd like to point out that the White Rabbit Hostel is not owned by locals, it's owned by foreigners who moved to Cambodia. So they now reside in Siem Reap, but I do think it's something that one should try to pay attention to. When I go to a new country, I personally try to support the locals there. I personally found some even cheaper hostels for $2 a night. But around that price, you definitely are going to be compromising on a lot of the amenities and some of the cleanliness from what I've heard and what I've read. We personally didn't experience that ourselves firsthand. But if we do, I'll film it for you, definitely. So which hostel did you prefer? Would you stay in a hostel that's only $3 per person, or would you spend a little bit more money for something else? Now, when we were up in the mountains, we actually did splurge, and we got our own cabin for only $15 a night. And I got some footage from that, so look forward to that in a future video. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. Comment below with what your expectations were of these places for this cost, and let me know what you think of what the reality of them are. Subscribe if you haven't already, and if you've already subscribed, make sure to hit the little bell icon next to the subscription box so that you get a notification every time I upload a new video. Thanks so much. See you next time. Bye! We're up early at our hostel getting breakfast, and this is the first hostel that uses reusable straws. They're not the first hostel to have free drinking refills or anything, but they also sell water bottles that you can refill and a bunch of stuff that I really like here.